to the Hop the Craft Beer Podcast. Thank you for joining us for another round of drinking. Happy Thirsty Thursday. My name is Stephen Humes. I am here with Gabriel Apria to drink some beer, to have some fun, to do what we do here on the Hop each and every week, and we're so glad you have joined us to do it. Gabe, where are we taking the people this fine Thursday?
We are taking the people back to Maryland to celebrate, to inspire, to taste one of a kind DuClaw Brewing Co. We've talked a lot about DuClaw. We've talked a lot about their beers, and the first beer we have is a little bit on the special side. You probably know what's coming, but we'll save it for in a little bit. Very exciting. They've got, my God, just beers on beers on beers. And this is the type of place that has a lot of series. And we have two beers today, and both of them are part of their own little series. And we're very excited about it. And we're so glad you're joining us for the start of the drinking weekend. Not the real weekend, but the drinking weekend. And we're here and we're ready for it.
And DuClaw has been on the show before. They were on the show on round 44 when we did our pumpkin beer, our spooky pumpkin beers episode. We had their 31 pumpkin spice lager. Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
So not a new one to us, but this time we're going all in on DuClaw. We're featuring them, and they had some beers that we just really wanted to get our hands on. We finally did. They are a big brewery, big footprint, lots of beers.
Whew.
Not that accessible in the tap room area, but we'll address that later. Their website is a little unclear as to when they're open. Actually, it turns out they never are. They don't have a public tap room, but we didn't know that. But
yeah,
I guess that's on
us. Okay, because a lovely beer store in Baltimore hooked us up. And
that they did. So we're going to dive into it. But first, we're going to tell you to follow the show at the HO Podcast on Instagram and the Twit. We are on Facebook and YouTube. We are a video podcast. This week, I have a picture of DuClaw behind me with some employees and, more importantly, a dog that apparently roams around
puppy
on the brewery floor. So check it out, because if you go to our YouTube, there's a dog in a brewery, and that's dope. We are also available to reach by email if you want to reach out to us, and we encourage you to do that. thehopod@gmail.com. You can send us a message. You can send us a beer request. You can send us beer itself if you have that. We love when people send us beer. It makes us very happy. And finally, the most important thing is, wherever you're listening to us right now, I want you to stop what you're doing. Stop it. Pull out your phone. Open the podcast app. You see where it says 5 stars? Click it. Click the 5th star. It will give us 5 stars, and you can write a review as well. It's really helpful to us. It helps people find the show. It helps people join our beer community here that we're forming bit by bit each and every week. So thank you. Engage with us, please. We're here for you.
Let us know what breweries to hit up next. Let us know what breweries to repeat. Send us photos of your dogs with beer. We will give you a special shout out because we're animal lovers. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, can we start a viral dogs with beer campaign?
Are you kidding me? Have we not started that already? Where's Ted?
We'll come up with a hashtag. We'll have our marketing department work on that.
Puppy brew or something like that.
Tag us in it.
That'll be great.
We're going to dive into the news now.
Beer news.
All right. So last week, the National Beer Wholesalers Association had their annual convention. I'm sure it was a barrel of laughs. No, I'm kidding. But they were meeting in Vegas, and there was a lot of good to come out of that. They've announced some initiatives in terms of increasing diversity in the industry, specifically related to gender diversity. So that was discussed a lot, amongst a lot of other things. They're also apparently rebranding as the National Beer and Beverage Wholesalers Association, which doesn't mean anything, but it just sort of speaks to the ready-to-drink category and how, once again, it is here to stay. Because we cannot go a week without bringing up Anheuser-Busch, apparently they're considering selling some of their German beer brands, which could be an interesting development if it takes place. This would include brands like Spattenbrau and Hassroder. So it could be a $1.2 billion deal, but it's just in the speculation phase right now. We don't have any concrete information on that. But if it happens, we will be the first person on a Thursday to tell you about it.
All right, we got a lot of breweries making moves. I'm just going to run through these like a running back. Football, got it. Okay. Highwire Brewing has announced plans for an eighth tap room. This one's going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. Dope. Treehouse Brewing worked it out on Cape Cod, and they got the go-ahead for a new location there. Also very exciting.
We had mentioned a few months ago they were kind of fighting with the Cape Codians, the locals. Yeah. So they sorted it out.
You guys don't want a brewery here? What are you guys doing? I know you're retired and you're on vacation, but you could use a beer.
They live on Cape Cod. There's something
up.
Something up.
Other Half Brewing is opening a tap room at Rockefeller Center. Hells yeah.
So
let's go see SNL, and then let's go have a beer while we're at it. Pumped about it. They will start operations as a seasonal beer garden. They're going to be offering a curated selection of the best brews that they have. It's going to be Brooklyn, Washington, D.C., and Finger Lakes Brewing is what all the beers they're going to feature. Those are the places that they're from. IPAs, sour, stouts. Guests are going to enjoy patio. They're going to be able to take it away. And then later this year, they're going to open a brick and mortar tap room at The Rock. Not Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Rockefeller Center.
They are, that's all the places that they currently have tap rooms. DC, Brooklyn, Washington, the Finger Lakes. So all those beers are going to be available in the heart of New York City at Rockefeller Center. That's fucking dope. And you can go
Steven.
there. Next time I'm in New York, we are absolutely going there. We still haven't made it to that Domino Park location, but this one is way easier to get to. Way less trains.
The weather is changing, so I'd have to do it soon, but there's a good chance I may be playing that mini golf at the new Other Half location in Brooklyn soon. If I can do it, I'll let you know, but I don't know. Weather's changing.
The Rockefeller Center one apparently is going to be open Thursdays and Fridays from 2 to 8, Saturdays from 12 to 8 for now, but then they'll do expanded hours later and then additional hours when they open the actual tap room. For more on Other Half as a brewery, there's a podcast that they were featured on. I think it was I don't know. It was like two really attractive dudes talking about beer, like two.
I think it's called The Hoop with Sean and Gregory.
Yeah, that sounds right. Just search for that, but leave one O out of that. And seriously, round 87 of the Hop, we did a whole Other Half.
Oh, that's great.
Elsewhere in the news, we're off the rails at this point already. Elsewhere in the news, you want to pour a beer from your phone? Well, I Pour It Inc. is making it happen. These are the people that do. If you've ever been to one of those like pour your own beer bars where you like can pour the tap yourself, I love those places, and the reason I love them is because sometimes you want to try a beer and you don't want to have to pay for an entire 16-ounce beer just to sample one thing. So I love places like this, but they've made an app. And I'm interested in it. It basically it allows you to like scan a QR code on your phone, so it saves like your license information once you sign up the first time, so you can easily check in at these bars. But and then it kind of works the same, but it does have an option where you can like activate the tap from your phone. You put in the size of the glass you want to pour, and you click Start Pour, and it just goes. Now I can imagine some issues.
That's wild.
I can imagine like if you accidentally hit the wrong size glass. A little overflow might occur.
Yeah, it just comes out like I can't get this to work. Are you on the Wi-Fi?
But it's kind of cool because it also allows you to see what's on tap at that. Like you can open the app. They're kind of turning it into a little bit of what Untapped is. Like you can leave reviews on the beers you try, and you can open it and say like, okay, this bar currently has these beers on tap. I want to try that beer or whatever. So if it takes off, it could be something really cool. So not huge news, but if you can find your way to one of these places, it sounds dope, and I'm interested.
It's called I Pour It. I want to pour it. Me, no.
I pour it.
Come on.
Okay. It's time for our favorite segment.
It's back.
This Week in Gross.
This may be the first This Week in Gross that I don't know if it's going to be gross. It's odd.
Yeah,
But
I was
we
on
love
the
the
fence.
segment, so here we are.
I was on the fence, but coffee cocktails. So Pennington Distilling is a family-owned company out of Nashville. Nashville. One of their brands is called Whisper Creek Tennessee Sipping Cream. If you're unfamiliar, it's basically an American version of an Irish cream liqueur, such as Bailey's. However, this uses Tennessee whiskey base as opposed to just a white alcohol base. All that's fine. No problems with that. But they have launched a ready-to-drink canned product called Spiked Coffee, which blends that liqueur that I was just talking about with real cold brew coffee, and it turns it into a cocktail that is 12.5% alcohol by volume that you can buy in cans. It comes in two flavors, original and mocha. I kind of don't understand. I mean, it's coffee flavor, shouldn't it? But it's okay. They'll sound like the same thing to me, but that's all right. But it says, with as much caffeine as a cup of coffee and as spirited as a shot of Tennessee whiskey, Whisper Creek Spiked Coffee is a little can with a lot of kick. I agree with you. I think it sounds decent. However, I just don't like coffee and alcohol in one place. Caffeine is an upper, alcohol is a downer. It's pulling me in two different directions. I don't know what to do. I'm unsettled.
Fair. Absolutely fair. Because of what you just said, sometimes they don't always go together. I'm going to be that guy, and I'm going to say I would like to at least try it. I think it's cool. You've never taken like a shot of JMO and like thrown it in a cup of coffee?
First of all, no, I don't think I have, which does probably make me a bad Irish person. But it's more like, I don't know, there's something about that that's like you have coffee and you put a little alcohol, you gave it a little kick. But this is like, it's something about it coming in a can. You're sipping out of a can, but it's coffee and it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel. What are you going for?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on board with the percentage and with 12.5% alcohol or 25 proof. I don't know.
Well, like,
I think
let's just tease it out real quick. Like, what scenario would you be in where you're like, you know what? Like, yeah, I got a day off. I could really use a drink right now. And what you reach for is a can of coffee that's also boozy.
I've got it.
Okay.
I've got it.
Lay it on me.
You wake up late on Sunday, but you're hungover from Saturday, so it's hair of the dog while also getting ready for football.
Perfect. Good job, Pennington Distilling. Thank you.
Exclamation point!
And for that very specific scenario, they made this drink. It does sound like flavor-wise, it's not gross. It's not tomato pickle, you know what I mean? But I'm a little thrown off.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
That's me. Yes.
It's a little weird, but I don't know. It might be cool. If anyone wants to send it to us, we will drink it.
We sure will. We've drank worse. All right. With that, we're going to go down to DuClaw Brewing, and I propose a toast, my friends. These are words of Mr. L. Frank Baum, who wrote The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, interesting.
To be individual, my friends, to be different from others, is the only way to become distinguished from the common herd. Let us be glad, therefore, that we differ from one another in form and in disposition. Variety is the spice of life, and we are various enough to enjoy one another's society. So let us be content. Imagination has given us the steam engine, the telephone, the talking machine, and the automobile, for these things had to be dreamed of before they became realities. So I believe that dreams, daydreams, with your eyes wide open and your brain machinery whizzing, are likely to lead to the betterment of the world. The imaginative child will become the imaginative man or woman most apt to create, to invent, and therefore to foster civilization. A prominent educator tells me that fairy tales are of untold value in developing imagination in the young. I believe it.
Wow.
Cheers.
I feel like...
Do you feel inspired?
I feel like I just won an award for writing an English paper.
Right? Like, I read that and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
I feel like, sometimes the toasts are funny, sometimes the toasts are sad, and sometimes they're just here to feed your soul. And
Hey, Hey, let's drink about it.
Let's drink about it. Okay, so we're kicking things off with, we got to do it. This is why we wanted to do it. We're here, we're doing
dun, 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 dun.
the unicorn farts. And it's a sour, it's a glittered sour ale. It's legendary, I would say.
It has been, I'm going to argue, the talk of the town beer-wise for a really long time. We've had a lot of people, fans, other beer accounts, other podcast accounts post about it, talk about it, tell us about it. So I'm very excited. It is part of their Sour Me series. So it's just the standalone. The Unicorn Farts is here. We have it. Let's get into it.
The Sour Me series is a very, very large series that they do, and it kind of goes on and on and on. Like, if you read them, they have flavors like all over the place, ranging from...
Oh, man.
They have this, of course, but they have... Let's see if I can find some other ones here. They've got Sour Me America, a Rocket Pop Sour Ale. They got Black Apple. They got Honeysuckle Tea. They got Sour Me Carolina. I don't know what that is. They got Double Raspberry, Double Blueberry, Mimosa, Mojito, Sour Me Oh Yeah. And it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
It's almost we've never said this about beer, but it's almost too much in a good way. There's just so many, and they're just like, they all have, if you're on YouTube, you can see they all have the like big bold Sour Me letters and then whatever artwork for each beer below it. But yeah, we said it, we have two beers and both of them are part of a series, and this is like a big, big series. Their Sour Me series is huge.
So this particular one is 5.5% ABV. IBUs are at 10. SRM chart, I would put it maybe around a 15. It's a golden kind of color. We'll talk about that in a minute. Beer Advocate 87, Untapped 3.73, and we do have word from Beer Connoisseur on this one. They got their hands on it, and they gave it an 89. So this is, the brewery's description of it. This glittered sour ale is brewed with cherries, tangerines, and limes. Fruity cereal is added into the mash, and it's finished off with a sprinkle of natural mineral-based edible glitter. A bright, sweet, and tart beer with a hint of malty biscuit, a collaboration between DuClaw Brewing and Diablo Donuts. I think the donut shop does like a version of this somehow, some way.
Yeah, I think they have their own little donut. But yeah, it's called a glittered sour ale, and it's edible glitter. And we're gonna be pissing glitter for quite some time.
It's also been a long time since we had a sour on the hop.
True.
So it's actually kind of refreshing to get back to it. We haven't done sours in a very long time. Not intentionally. It just hasn't made it in front of us. But here we go. And on the nose, I should talk about the look. So if you Google this beer, you will find plenty of pictures of very, very glitter. It looks like a tornado of glitter in some of the pictures. The best pictures.
Do you remember when you were doing arts and crafts and you were in kindergarten and you just weren't even messing with glitter, but somehow you just had glitter all over your hands?
Yeah, yes.
That's what it looked like in the beer.
Yes, it's crazy. That's why we wanted to get our hands on it. Now, I will say, mine don't look like that, which could be one of several things. It could have settled into the can, and that's on me for not shaking it up before I poured it. We don't recommend that. It could have settled.
I gave it a little swirl myself, and I didn't really get any glitter as well.
Or this year's iteration could be a little bit less dense with that. But in my glass, it's got some cloudiness to it, but I wouldn't even call it a hazy beer. It's pretty clear and golden color-wise, I think. Now we can smell it.
Yeah, I would agree on that. It smells light, little tart, a lot of lemon. Wasn't really expecting that. It's made with cereal, literally. It's literally has cereal in this, fruity cereal. So I was expecting more fruit, but it's there for sure. It's a little fruity. It smells very, very sweet fruit, like something you would put in a smoothie.
Yeah, I get a lot of lime off this, lime and lime sort of rind. I get the crackery malt is there for sure. I definitely get some sort of biscuit. And then, I mean, when you smell it, it's sour. It's definitely tart. It's definitely the sour esters are absolutely present on this. We don't know exactly how it was soured, if it was done in barrels or just kettle soured. Probably
it might have been kettled. I think I read somewhere that it was kettle soured. There wasn't a huge description on the DuClaw website, but I'm pretty sure I read a review that said it was soured. The hop variety is, say it with me, Steven,
Tatnang! Larry the Cable Guy's hop, and it and it smells like that. You know, it has like a German smell to it. It smells zesty. It smells zingy. It does not have any pininess, any resin, anything like that. It's much more. It smells like a Corona and lime. I mean, it smells like a Pilsner with some lime.
I gotta be honest. I think it smells kind of like a Goza.
Yeah. Yeah. That
not
too.
Not as salty, but on the just the lime flavor. Like I don't know.
Again, it's
I feel
that
like
German
I'm getting more
thing.
Goza. Yeah, for sure. The grains, I'm not sure if you said this already, made with Pilsner, light wheat, and torrefied wheat.
Torrefied wheat. I'm horrified of torrefied wheat.
Bro.
No?
You're going to be horrified by torrefied.
Yay or nay?
I liked it. I'm with it.
Thank you.
Yay!
And here we go. Listen, I feel like that soundbite is this episode. We're drinking a beer called Unicorn Farts. I wish I could have just glitter raining down upon me. The toast was from Wizard of Oz, and there was a reason for that. We'll get to that later. But, all right, should we drink this thing? Here we go.
Let's just look at it.
Let's drink glitter. Here we go.
Let's drink some Unicorn Farts. Huh. That's pretty intriguing. First sip, it's sour. It's fruity. It makes on the first sip, it's going to make your lips pucker just a little bit because you may not be used to it right away. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of good flavor. There's a lot of fruitiness and lemon and lime, but there's also a lot of like biscuity malt in the background. But then as you swallow it, I'm not really getting any bitterness. I'm getting a lot of fruit. I'm getting a lot of flavor. I am getting that cereal and the back end. As of right now, in the 2 sips I took, the back end is kind of my favorite part because it's more fruity and refreshing than, it's a sour all the way down. I feel like it's only, it stops, for me, it stops being a sour when I went to swallow the beer.
Yeah. Yes, I would agree with everything you said. The tart is definitely up front. I would say the first sip was, I think that you have to sip this a few times to let it evolve into your mouth, let your palate get used to it. Because the first sip, what I got was definitely the tart and definitely some lime, but swallowing it was almost mineral. It was like almost like a minerality. It was like a really intense sort of like odd flavor. But every sip after that hasn't had that. So I think that's just getting used to, okay, we're drinking a sour now. Okay, like that's the world we're in. And then flavor-wise, yes, the tart, the citrus is there. The biscuity malt is there. What surprised me was 100% Fruity Pebbles. It's very, very subtle, but there is a hint of like the fruitiness and the malt and everything comes together as you're swallowing it for this moment of like, holy shit, like Fruity Pebbles are tricks or something, you know?
Silly rabbit, beers are for kids.
Oh, now we're going to have to get him on the board. We already got one of them. Wait, where is he?
They're magically delicious.
We're going to have to get the rabbit. But, I'm just trying to get General Mills to sue me.
Or sponsor, whatever works better.
Or sponsor. The mouthfeel is a tart puckering sour. I would say it's not the intense puckering sour that like a lot of kettle sours can be. It does drink more like a Goza to me. There's a little bit of salinity in there, intentional or not, and it drinks smoother than some sort of intensely sour beers can. There's not a lot of acidity after you swallow it. It's there, but
I'm not really getting any more tart sourness as I keep going. I'm just getting a lot of flavor. Maybe because my mouth is like a little used to it by now, but I mean, it's going down so well.
Yeah, and I think the blend of fruits that they put into this is really nice. The limes are I think the star if I had to pick one of the fruit, but the tangerine helps to kind of even out that acidity, and the tangerines are acidic, but the tangerine flavor kind of balances the limes. And then the cherries bring something darker, something a little bit more sweet, a little bit more robust. They round it out really nice without stealing the show. They're just sort of they're playing a supporting role. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. But see, here's the thing, everyone. If you don't like our description of this, maybe you should go on Beer Advocate and read a description by a very fun person whose name is Scary Ed from New Hampshire.
And just to be clear, I haven't read this yet because I'm intentionally waiting to be surprised by it on the show.
Normally, we don't really read reviews, but this one got me. You ready for this, Steven?
Hit me.
And I quote, Unicorn farts. What even is craft beer? Pours a hazy deep amber. Wait, what in the actual ass cake fuck is this? There's literally glitter swirling around. It's mesmerizing and honestly beautiful. The head is whatever. I don't even care. All capital letters. Glitter. I don't care how silly and gimmicky this is. It's the best looking beer ever. Fight me. Flavor, 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 flavor. And then, overall, this beer is dumb. I hate the gimmick. Why is there glitter? Do unicorns fart glitter? Do they eat fruity pebbles? Are their farts tart? Tart fart? I have many questions, but the beer isn't bad. In a blind taste test, this would likely be considered a good sour. If you look past the absurdity, it really is a solid beer. Thank you, Scary Ed.
Good work, man. Honestly,
that was
if
good.
you read a lot of the a lot of the Beer Advocate reviews on this beer are pretty entertaining. I mean, you get to read lines such as, I completely failed to understand the point of even using glitter. You get to read things like, here, what do we have here? A beer to piss off the traditionalists. What even is craft beer? You read that one. And then this one.
It's funny because there's the people that just go straight for like, I get flavors of this, and I get flavors of this, and I get flavors of this. And then there's the other people that are like, what the actual hell are we doing here?
Dark Lord Scott says, I doubt that real unicorns were added to the brew or that unicorns were brought in to carbonate the wort by forcefully interjecting posterior waste byproducts. No unicorns were harmed in the making of this beer. That's what we got. I will say, though,
told.
I do just want to mention that I did pour the rest of the beer into this glass, and I got some glitter. I don't think it's going to come through on YouTube, really, but there is a sheen to it. It's kind of this like mystifying, like deep. It's I don't know how to describe it. It's like this tornado of like color or mystery inside the beer, and I'm kind of into it. Does it add any flavor? No. Does it add really anything at all? No. But it's fun and it's pretty to look at, and it's kind of sexy, and so sure, why not? I'm
gonna be right back. I'm gonna go get some glitter. I have some in my backpack, and I'm gonna add it in the beer because I didn't get enough glitter. I would like a little more glitter, please.
You can definitely see it, but it's not as pronounced as it is on Google. Just Google it. Google it.
I feel like my beer is just shiny. It's just eye catching and shiny in the glass.
It doesn't add anything to the flavor, and also it doesn't add anything to the mouthfeel. You can't like taste glitter. Like you don't feel glitter in your mouth. So if anybody's concerned about that, don't be. Stop.
You're not going to get injured. Big shout out to my mother who was able to get her hands on this beer. Thanks, Mom. Love you.
Thank you, Sue. We love you. So I think that we should talk about DuClaw Brewing as a company, but overall, this beer for me is really refreshing. And yes, there's a gimmick to it, and you have to kind of just deal with that. And if you're someone who, if you subscribe to that Jim Beam commercial where you think craft beer is, then just don't even touch this. Because there's no reason for this. It's excessive, but fuck it, it's fun. And the beer itself is a solid sour. It drinks like a Goza. I think you nailed that completely. It's got everything,
First of all, I saw that commercial again the other day, and it just gives craft beer people a bad name, bad rep. It really does.
Fuck you, Jim Beam.
Okay, I think that's the 8th episode we've said it. Let's keep it going. I agree. I here's the thing. Gimmicks only play if it works, and this beer works. I think the gimmick works here, to be honest, because it's not just like, oh, they gave it a fun name, but like, yeah, the beer sucks, so like, don't even buy it. No, if you like sours, absolutely get your hands on this because you will love this. We're not huge sour people. We're slowly starting to pick it up more because of the show. But I mean, if we're out to a bar at night just chilling with friends, I mean, we're probably not going to go for a sour, but this is delicious. It's refreshing. It's fruity. It's flavorful. And, the gimmick is fun and you get to feel like, a little kid. I don't know.
Yeah, here's the thing about DuClaw. DuClaw, we're going to tell you about, a little bit about their history and all that like we always do. But the bottom line is they brew by a motto, and the motto is craft be cherished, rules be damned. And honestly, you see that in everything that they do. This is a brewery that kind of made the first peanut butter porter, right? The Sweet Baby Jesus is everywhere. Everyone sees it. You can find it everywhere. Also, fuck you, DuClaw, for making that, but whatever.
It's Steven's favorite beer.
But this is a brewery that does stuff like that. They have, like we said, they have like dozens and dozens, if not more than 100 brews on their website, but a lot of them are wacky, crazy, weird, and experimental. And then they also have their OGs. The classic example of that is their one that is just called, I think it's just called like, it just tastes like a beer or something. It's like literally regular beer. I think that's what it's called.
It's called, the regular beer. It's literally just, they're like,
and the logo looks like a Cards Against Humanity card, and it's just white with black letters. It says regular beer, a beer that tastes like a beer. And, that's the kind of playful nature of the place we're dealing with.
But I mean, their reputation backs them up, which we love to see. I mean, they all sound great. They taste great. We've had, I've had other DuClaw beers from the next series we're gonna go to. I'll explain later. But I mean, they love to push the envelope. That's their thing. That's their gimmick, and they love to, there are breweries that try things, and it's like, we did this, we did that. DuClaw's like, all right, how can we top the last one? And that's what I love to see.
And it's a brewery that's been around for more than 25 years. They were founded originally in 1996. Dave Benfield is the founder, still the president of the company. He was raised to be an electrician, and then he just got into home brewing, and then he, his dad just looked at him dejected and said, you're going to brew beer, aren't you? And he's like, yeah, Dad.
Yes, I am.
Baltimore is where they are. They used to have a tap room that you could visit. They don't anymore. What is behind me is the production facility. So online, it says that they have a tap room that sometimes does private tours, and it has hours. If you go to that place where those hours during those hours, they will be closed, because Gabe and I did that and we were sad. But they are located.
We must have walked around that building for like a solid 25 minutes before, because we looked through the doors, we saw people in there. There were people in there,
and there was a bar in there. It wasn't like we were looking into like a warehouse. Yeah. We were looking into a tap room, but nobody let us in. But the brewery is located at 8901 Yellow Brick Road in some town outside of Baltimore. Hence the toast, and it's adorable.
It's perfect. I read that and I was like, oh man, we're gonna talk about this.
I remember it because when we put it into the GPS, I was like, no fucking way. Seriously?
Yeah. Yep. Turn left on Yellow Brick Road.
So
Thanks, Siri.
They like I said, they were founded in 96. They're going strong. They're one of the biggest, easily one of the biggest breweries in the Baltimore area.
Oh yeah.
And they're a major national company. Their beers are distributed to currently 22 states as well as DC. One state they are not presently in is obviously Montana. But
I would love for a classic Montanian, someone who's born and raised, lived their entire life in Montana, never went anywhere else, hand them a Sour Me Unicorn Fart and watch them be like, excuse me, you want me to do what? It's like, yeah, I want you to drink this. Go ahead.
Gabe and I clearly know nothing about Montana. That's the whole point of this gag.
They have it there.
And it's stupid, and it probably died like a year and a half ago, but it just makes me laugh every time. And until it doesn't, we're going to keep making fun of your state.
We love a good bit.
But 22 states, DC, and also Canada. They're international in Canada. So
they were in France. I guess they're not anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. We did find information that they were in France,
Whoopsie.
and then it's not currently on their website, so maybe they lost that account or something. I'm not really sure. But sorry, French people. If you go to a shitty craft beer store in France that doesn't refresh their inventory, maybe you'll still be able to get DuClaw.
Get out of my store.
Was that your French accent?
Yeah, man. I thought it sounded really good.
I am excited to get to the next beer we're going to, though, for a lot of reasons. So, do you have anything else to add to the unicorn? We've been wanting to do this for like so long, and in the end, it's a solid sour. I'm not sure it was worth all the hype, but
we hyped it up. We didn't even hype it up on like the show or the account. We just hyped it up ourselves. However, I'm very certain that the Unicorn Farts, it might have made its way into This Week in Gross. And at the time, I remember being like, it's probably not gross. It's probably great. And we definitely mentioned it. So it's nice to finally bring it to light. We finally got our hands on it, and we made it a part of the show. I enjoy it. I think it's good. This is definitely a sour worth going to getting a second one for. This is, I think it's pretty fairly semi-easy to drink if you like beer, if you like sours. I'm happy about this decision, and I feel like a unicorn.
It may have been on This Week in Gross. We don't know. We could go back and look at that, but honestly, we have so many episodes that we'll put our intern on it at some point, but they're busy getting me a coffee. So in the meantime, we don't know. But if we did, you know what? DuClaw, you didn't deserve that. The beer is not gross. It's gimmicky, and that's okay. And it's fun, and that's the point. And so, yeah, I think it's a refreshing beer. I think it's a sweet, refreshing, sour, and by sweet, I mean cool, not that it tastes particularly sweet. Tartness is just right. It's well balanced. It's a pleasant beer to drink, and it's extremely pleasant to look at when you get the glitter in there. So, good job.
We each have 3 more cans, so maybe we'll get more glitter on the next one. Who knows?
They're magically delicious.
It's just the reason I play that is
nothing to do with this.
I'll tell you, it's because I really feel like I want like a drop of like a unicorn farting glitter, but we don't have that. The only like rainbow drop, the thing that that we have is him.
Steven, you just love this little leprechaun. It's okay.
And there's fruity. There's some kind of fruit cereal in here. It could be Lucky Charms. We don't know.
It's Fruity Pebbles.
Okay, we're going to get the other beer now.
Hey, Steven, are you ready for dessert?
I'm ready for dessert. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, it's the PastryArchy series. Not sure how I feel about that name, but whatever, that's what they call it. And it's their banana bread pudding Hefeweizen. Now,
let's get bananas in this bitch.
I feel like I've addressed on the show before, but if I haven't, me and bananas are not best friends. I'm trying to get over that. I've recently bought a frozen fruit blend that I started putting in my smoothies that had banana in it, and it made the smoothie really good. So I'm like, maybe bananas don't suck. But then on a whim, I went to the store and I bought like actual bananas, and I ate one of them and it was gross. So I don't know how to feel. And then the other one's frozen in my fridge because it was going bad like real quick, and I couldn't. This doesn't matter to anybody, but I'm just
bananas
saying.
Have a place in this world, and according to the reviews I read, they have a place in this beer. So let's get into it. It is part of their PastryArchy series, as Steven said, as he hates bananas because they're slimy and gross.
They are. Go on.
But this is another one of those, like, for the series, I mean, they just have so much. Okay, just to name a few. Oat Milk Imperial Stout, Imperial Pecan Pie Stout, Imperial Pumpkin Spice Stout, Root Beer Float Imperial Brown Ale, Tiramisu Imperial Stout, Valencia Orange Chocolate Imperial Stout. I mean, for the love of sweet Mary of Mother of God, this is insane. And it's amazing. I mean, they just have so many. And this is one of those that we saw. I remember specifically in the beer store, we both saw it. I think we both kind of like looked at each other and we were like, eh?
Yes, like intriguing, definitely intriguing. When you hear banana bread, Hefeweizen, something within you stirs. From the brewery, sip this banana-forward banana bread pudding delight, and your senses will be enveloped in aromas of banana, chocolate, cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, and confection. Delivered on a backdrop of a classic spiced Hefeweizen, it's light to medium-bodied and slightly sweet. Enjoy in a traditional Hefeweizen vase, glassware of your choice, or straight from the can. We will. And just to give this stats, the ABV is 6.2%. IBUs are at 15. Beer Advocate has it at 85. Untapped has it at 3.6. And here we go.
On the SRM chart, it looks darkish orange. We both have tulip glasses. It looks kind of like a 9 to a 12-ish.
Yeah, I mean, maybe even a little darker than that. It is very similar to me to the Sour Me. Which we might have put the Sour Me a little high. I mean, I would probably put this at a 12, I think. It's like a deep amber color. It's not hazy. It is cloudy, mostly just because it's very cold for me. But it's an amber kind of orange glow. The hops in here are an experimental hop. The grains are Pilsner, malt, red wheat, dextrin, and biscuit.
These were facts I found from a fun article. The beer was released in May of 2021, so it's very new. It is hit with over 3,000 hand-peeled bananas and dosed with all the decadent ingredients you commonly find in banana bread and bread pudding. It smells like banana. It smells like bread. It doesn't really smell like any chocolate right off the bat, but I am getting the banana. I'm getting like wheat, maybe a little clove.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm getting cinnamon. I'm getting banana. Banana is a flavor that does play into the Hefeweizen style. Absolutely. We often say that Hefeweizens have a spiciness to them that almost hints towards banana. So this makes sense, but there are actual bananas added to this. Clove, yeah, I don't get a lot of chocolate. I do get some honey. I get some vanilla.
It definitely smells like bread pudding, or I would even say like pie.
Yes. The head was this creamy, sort of very dense white head. It is a ring around the glass now, and it's just got this like rich, decadent lacing going on. Like it's just like, it's dessert, baby. It's dessert. Although it's a Hefeweizen. It's not like it's a stout or something like that. It's not like it's a...
That's what's so interesting to me. Like, it's a dessert beer, but it's also a Hefeweizen, so it's going to have all those dessert flavors, but it also has a little bit of that spiciness to it. So I don't know if they're going to clash. I don't know if they're going to work, but there is one way of finding that out, Steven. And do you know what it is?
Should we sip the beer?
Oh, I was going to say maybe ask someone, but from the brewery. But yeah, no, we can sip it. Yeah, for sure.
It's just quicker. It's just quicker.
Yeah, why not? We don't have their phone numbers.
Okay. Yes, this is one of those beers that is a dessert beer for sure. But like it often is, the nose is sweeter than the taste. The banana is there. I get a hint of chocolate. But it's sweet. Don't get me wrong. It's a sweet beer. I'm not saying it's not. But when you smelled it, you were like, oh, we're about to have like a piece of banana bread. There is some maltiness in here to kind of cut it. The Pilsner malt definitely is present. Those German flavors kind of cut the sweetness with, I would say, clove and nutmeg for sure. Those what I might consider Belgian spices, which makes sense. It's a Hefeweizen. But banana is the star of the show for sure. It's on the front. It's on the back. It's kind of throughout it. The mouthfeel is very creamy and dense. The carbonation is moderate. They called it a light to medium-bodied beer. I would lean towards medium-bodied.
Same.
I wouldn't say it's heavy, but it's not a light beer. This is not a Blue Moon type Hefeweizen.
No.
You know what I mean? This is a dessert for sure.
The carbonation has me baffled a little bit because it's a lot stronger than I thought it would be. But yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. Is this banana bread pudding in a can? I want to say yes and no. I think a lot of the flavors are there, but I don't think you sip this and you go, oh, that's banana bread pudding. 100%. I had it last night. Like, I think it's like, oh yeah, those flavors are there. It reminds me of that. I think that's the perfect way to describe it. Like, it will remind you of that, especially because of the can, especially because of the taste and the description and whatnot. But yeah, I all that being said, I really like this. I love banana stuff. I love banana flavor. I love bananas, period. If you buy them in New York City, they go bad in 10 minutes. So I throw them in the freezer and put them in shakes and smoothies and stuff.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I had to do. And I live in California where we have good produce.
Yes, honestly. But I'm telling you, 10 minutes, they start going bad.
I know.
Like, I don't get it. But this is delicious. It's heavy banana. I am getting a little bit of chocolate on the taste. I didn't get any on the nose. I'm getting a little on the taste, but it does have a lot of bready, malty backbone to it. I would say more bread than malty, but definitely that bread is there and prominent, and it makes you feel things. I don't know, but I really enjoy it. I think it's wild. I think it's crazy. I think it's different. I think it's explorative. I think it's fun. I think it's we haven't done it yet, and so I'm going to say it. This beer is bananas. BANANAS.
I would address that, but I'm dealing with the fact that, did you just say explorative?
Yes, I did, and I meant it.
Oh yeah.
Fight me.
Yes, I think yes to everything you just said. The Pilsner malt is what cuts the sweetness, and so it's not an imbalanced beer, and it's also not. I've had sweeter beers. I've had beers where you're like, yeah, it's hurting my teeth. This is not that. I think it's balanced, and I don't like bananas, but I got to be honest. Between this and the unicorn farts, not really fair to compare them. They're two very different beers, but between them, I kind of like this better for whatever it's worth.
I will say this though. I feel like it's my responsibility to say this. I don't think you can drink this beer anytime you want, to be honest. I think it's like strictly dessert.
Oh yeah,
like
no.
If you're at a barbecue, don't grab this. No, you can't.
That would be fucked up. No.
But like, I mean, fall is here. We're in October. What are we doing? Fall is here. The holidays are coming. It's going to start getting colder out. You know, you're going to be with family, dessert. I look no further. If you like bananas and chocolate, it's here. It's ready.
All right. Well, this is the point where we move on to Can Arts and Crafts. This brewery has a lot of different styles depending on the series you're working in. So I can't wait to see how you're going to tackle this one. I'm sure you've been preparing all week.
Can Art and Crafts.
So here's the thing. I don't know who this artist is, if they have artists, or if they just have a label print guy, but they're doing something right. The Sour Me Unicorn Farts. I mean, come on. Come on. If you haven't, if you're listening and you're not watching, just Google, please. Look at this can. You can't mistake this for anything else. And that is why it's going to get the rating you think it's going to get. Big, bright, bold letters, sour me, with a unicorn farting a rainbow, and in the cloud of dust, it says unicorn farts. It is a very vibrant, bright-colored purple and blue can with sparkles galore. And then you've got the banana bread pudding one. And I like this because it's not just the logo and the words and colors, but it's not like an artist's rendering. It's literally like they took a real photo of banana bread pudding. It looks like a piece of bread drizzled in chocolate with banana slices on top, and they just stuck it on the can. And I gotta be honest, I have an appreciation for that because not only, it's not really artwork, but it shows you what you're drinking. And then, of course, if we want to talk about the other cans they have to sample, it's the same thing. I mean, there's just vibrant, bright colors, artwork, big, bold letters, big, bold colors, DuClaw. Welcome to the club. And I mean the 10 out of 10 club. I mean, did you have any doubt when you saw the first Sour Me? I mean, there's just no other way to describe it. It's just a perfect home run, knock it out of the park. You know how for football players, they have the overall Madden NFL, the Madden video game ratings. And if you're part of like the 99 club, it's like a big deal. And you get gold cleats and a necklace. Your boy Devontae Adams is there. A bunch of people are there. I feel like we need our own special high rating club for can arts and crafts. But DuClaw, you did it. You made it to 10 out of 10. Bob Ross is here, and he couldn't agree more. He's literally fighting the cloud of unicorn farts all around him. But that's why we have him here. And that is why we do can arts and crafts.
Just on the banana beer, I'm looking at the can and it says ale brewed with pureed banana, banana juice, cinnamon, nutmeg, and cocoa nibs. And I mean, I wasn't aware bananas had juice. So
yeah, I feel like if you like mash them or squeeze them or something.
I feel like if you put a banana in a juicer, what you would get would be pulp. So I don't know what that means. I've never seen banana juice ever.
Yeah, no, wait a minute. Now I'm not on board. I'm want that.
I'm pretty sure bananas have no moisture at all. But sure, whatever. Anyway, moving on. We have one last thing to do before we get out of here. DuClaw, it has been a pleasure. We've talked about what they have on tap. They have everything on tap. Go look at it.
Dude, we don't have time to talk about what they have on tap. Let's just be real.
DuClaw.com. Check it out. Check out their brewery. And if you're in one of those 22 states that does not include Montana, buy their beer. You probably have seen the Sweet Baby Jesus before, but they have other options. So get your hands on it.
I like it. I think it's great.
All right, here we go.
Last call.
Do not ever praise a peanut butter beer on this show, Gabe. Okay.
Peanut butter beers are the way of the future. Everyone get on board.
Get out. All right. This isn't about that. It's our last call segment, and we have a bone to pick.
I'm stressed.
With Hellmann's.
I'm stressed.
Hellmann's, the mayonnaise people, they tweeted this week, and the tweet simply said, mayo in your coffee. That's it. That's the tweet.
Bruh. What?
So, Hellmann's. What the hell, man? That one was good. Come on, that one was good. It was good. I thought about it before the episode.
Steven just wanted his moment to shine.
I really just wanted to say that. Okay, but seriously,
listen, I hear you, but I'm just too angry about all this. I don't get why. I don't get how. I don't get where. I don't get the purpose of it. There's a lot going on.
In another tweet, Hellmann's outlined the benefits of putting mayonnaise in your coffee, which they said include mayo in your coffee and coffee in your mayo. What I love to this, this went viral, as you would expect, and it's got a lot of backlash. And this is the good side of social media. Like some people, I mean, one person commented on the thread and said unfollowed and reported.
Yeah, honestly though, who in their right mind would read this and go, you know what? I think they're onto something. Pass me the mayo. I'm gonna put it in my coffee.
What I love is that Dionne Warwick, the singer, she not only did she not appreciate the tweet, she blocked the Hellmann's account. I don't know why she followed the Hellmann's account in the first place. Or maybe she didn't. Maybe she just saw it, but she blocked their account.
She was looking for a coupon.
She said, and then someone asked her why, and she said, they want us to put mayonnaise in our coffee, and I won't tolerate it. She said, one person said, I love you intensely, Hellmann's, but this tweet is pure violence.
Oh my God. Honestly, though.
It's fucked up.
The only off-the-wall use for mayo is for grilled cheese and searing steak. Just stop with this.
I don't know what they were going for. I don't know if they... I mean, it sends a literal feeling of wanting to gag into my body. The idea of... I mean, I guess mayonnaise is made out of eggs, right? So it's like the whole breakfast in one cup there. You got your eggs, you got your coffee, you got milk in the...
No. Here's the thing. I actually like mayonnaise. I put it on sandwiches and spicy mayo. Sir Kensington's, please sponsor us. We would love you so much. Hashtag.
Sir Kensington's does sponsor my life. So
they have a good spicy mayo. We use it all the time. But like, not in coffee. What are we doing? Like, I just don't get, like, how would that make any side better? How would that make your mayo better? How would that make your coffee better? They don't go hand in hand.
Mayo is one of the most divisive condiments, and I have theories as to why, but which I'm not going to go into on this podcast. But it's just so. All right, I love aioli, which is basically flavored mayo. That I love. That's why I love Sir Kensington's. But mayonnaise itself, I don't know what it is about it. There's something, it's just like creamy, but I don't really know what the flavor is. And even the way this article describes it, talking about the tweet, they describe mayonnaise as the thick sauce made from oil, egg yolk, and vinegar or lemon juice.
See, that's the thing, though. That's what it is. It's very unhealthy, and I probably shouldn't be eating it. But screw it. Life is short. Even the comment I read, like the whole grilled cheese thing is, that's real. You put mayonnaise of it. I sometimes do butter, but whatever. They said searing steak, and I was kind of like, oh, interesting. I guess because it goes hand in hand with like the whole butter grilled cheese thing. But there are just things that shouldn't mix. I don't know. I'm here to advocate for the people.
I mean, what we need to know is like what exactly were they going for, and what do they think the benefits of putting? Or I mean, maybe they were kidding, but the internet didn't take it as a joke. Hellmann's, you need to be careful with the suggestions you make on Twitter. That's all I'm saying. Instagram was down last week. Instagram was down, so we had nothing to do but go to Twitter as a species,
as a unit. And what we found was we wanted to be greeted with social media because as people who live in 2021, we can't survive without it. And we were greeted by, hey, how's it going? I'm Hellmann's, and I want you to put mayo in your coffee. Like, I feel like if somebody said that on the playground, they'd get beat up by the bully, you know?
Here you go. So here's the thing. I give their social media person props because they're keeping up the joke, and it's kind of enjoyable to me. Hellmann's did tweet, the benefits of putting your mayo include, number 1, mayo in your coffee, number 2, coffee in your mayo. So that's the most explanation we got for this. But they have since, like in the days since, as the internet went crazy, they have continued. They tweeted a couple days ago. They tweeted "Good morning, everyone" with just the coffee emoji. Beautiful, well done. And then today or yesterday, which I guess dates this episode, but they said, "Wishing all the best to this person today. Hope you're starting game day with a fresh cup of coffee."
All right, I'd give it appreciation
keeping it
to
up.
that. Yeah, I mean, if that's like us, we love.
They
a
committed
bit.
to the bit, exactly.
Yeah, but I just don't agree with it. And like I said, I like mayo. I use it on sandwiches and stuff, but
maybe that's the point. Maybe we're not supposed to agree with it. Maybe just the whole point was to have this conversation. We're talking about Hellmann's on the hop. Why?
What if an intern just got bored and just like tweeted that, and then the company was like, "Hey, Danny, come here."
Yeah.
Like,
Danny,
screw you, but like you're lucky it worked.
Exactly. Like Danny was about to get fired, but then his phone started blowing up, and he was like, "Boss, can I go?
Can I go get another job with
Dionne Warwick is messaging us right now. We got gotta go.
Dion, we're sorry to bother you, but that's how it goes sometimes. Hey,
listen, people.
DuClaw, well done.
Our last call segment is a time for us to have fun, and if you don't want it to be football related every week, we love a good viral sensation. So
send us something, because if we look, but if we don't find anything, it's gonna be like, all right, well,
this is one viral.
Who got burned and what defense got burned in football this week? Not always, but whatever.
Yeah, it was. We won't talk about that. We'll have a football-free episode. But guys, DuClaw Brewing, check them out. Their second appearance on the hop. We love their inventiveness. I wish they had a tap room we could go visit.
I wish they updated their hours.
DuClaw, your website's a tiny bit confusing. That could be us. We might be stupid, but we were confused, and we spent a lot of time in your parking lot. But other than that, beautiful brewery, and I love the dog. I don't know whose it is, but
Puppy.
pet him for me. And with that, we'll be back next week with round 95. Have a great week. Do something nice for someone.
Dalvin Cook, rest your ankle.
Football-free episode.